So the class I wanted to talk about was EN 2610, which is Intro to Film. It's taught by Paul Regalis. It's intended for English majors, and it's funny, the English department has decided to combine literature and film classes, and if you need a literature class for English, I'm not sure if any other majors do, but film is also acceptable in that. And basically the format of the class is you talk about a movie on Tuesday, you talk about the film you're going to watch. On Wednesday night you have a screening of the film, and then Thursday you talk about that film. And the thing that I think is so important about this class is it introduces people into critically analyzing basically literature or film. And a lot of people don't like reading, and that's understandable. As an English major, I'm a huge fan. But analyzing literature is it really helps you analyze a lot of things. It's really helpful. I've noticed in my business classes, I think it's helped me a lot. So bring film into the mix, I think really helps people who may not be reading that much and maybe don't want to read a book. You can watch an hour-and-a-half movie and have a similar experience to reading a book. Some movies that we watch are Pulp Fiction, which I know a lot of people are into, Edward Scissorhands, Citizen Kane. Some pretty popular movies. Watch some classics too, The General. Another thing, it's just it's a really fun class. You have these discussions and you really get a lot out of it. So yeah, it's just a good way to break into analyzing art, and I think it helps a lot in the business world and pretty much any other major. Yeah. I wasn't sure if people have questions about the movies or a specific aspect of the format of the class.
So it's all built around films?
It's all built around films, yeah. There's no literature, but like I said, it's a literature class. Right. It's tied in as an English major. I had a list of classes. This is one of the classes I was able to take, as opposed to something like Identity and Difference in American Literature. So, as someone who's not an English major, maybe doesn't enjoy reading, it's a nice alternative to get a similar experience.
Does this satisfy? I mean, this has no prereqs, right?
No.
So does this satisfy for some of the gen ed type requirements?
This specific one does not, but there is one just like it that does, and I'm pretty sure it's based off the same class, same teacher. I'm sure there's not as much of the critical analysis part, just because that's why you have it as an English major, is to do that. But I'm sure it's very similar still.
So what film did they do first?
We did The General, which is a black and white silent film. It's known as one of it's one of the people.
When is it? Who was? I mean, yeah, who? Because I remember it, but I can't. I mean,
well, it was made in the 1930s. It's shown from the perspective of the Confederate Army, and it's a funny, which it sounds weird. It's a funny movie though, and this guy just does a bunch of goofy stuff, and they go behind enemy lines, and it ends with this battle scene. It's pretty cool, but it's pretty funny, and yeah.
Well, I've heard of it. So what's the next one? I mean, I'm just wondering the order a little bit.
All right, so
I figured it sounds like they're coming up.
Yeah,
chronologically.
So you start with that one, which is 1930s. Then you go to Citizen Kane, which is
41 or 2.
Yeah, and then you go to Double Indemnity,
which is like 49 or 50.
Yeah, it's like into the 50s. And we do The Graduate. So you kind of go throughout time, and towards the end you kind of get away from that, because we do like a section. We do Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, and the Grindhouse movie Death Proof for Quentin Tarantino. And then, actually no, before that we do like Edward Scissorhands and the one with the meat pies.
Was it the one with the
Meat
what?
pies?
The meat pies. It's like who's the director of
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd. Yeah.
Oh.
And that's the same director, and we do that right before we do Quentin Tarantino.
Mm.
And those are kind of not in chronological order, but they're still, I mean, you're still following a
Yeah.
similar pattern.
Right, well, they are kind of in. Any other questions?
Sounds like a cool class.
It's yeah, no, like I said, it's a good time, and if you really enjoy that, there's other film, like you could take there's an upper level film class. It's called like Film as Art, and then there's also screenwriting classes, which I took after taking this one because I enjoyed it so much. And the teacher's he's a really funny guy. I don't know if anyone's ever had Paul Regales, but really makes it enjoyable. Discussions are good.
In the English department?
Yeah, he's actually the English coach here. And I say he's written screenplays that have won awards at movie festivals. Not any of the big ones, but yeah, he's just a really funny guy. You know, taking away his screenplays and stuff.
Okay, so it's kind of